Okay, it's a quick video for myself, Harvey Goldman. No cuts, no edits, no filters, and no hair. So for today's video, I am on my camera phone, hence the lens flares. Forgot my camera today. Anyway, so today's video, 7 everyday things that are secretly keeping you poor. So as I've said in previous videos, it's not that you're necessarily bad with money. It is that the UK system and also the systems in other countries are designed and maintained to bleed you dry without you even really noticing. And this is how they do it. So by the end of this video, you'll be able to spot the invisible drains. You'll probably feel less guilt about your spending, or bad spending as it may be. And you may be able to start making small but powerful financial decisions that give you control over your spends, and it'll open your eyes up perhaps to some of the bigger systems at play. So the first one, the obvious, shrinkflation at supermarkets. You're paying more for less. Walker's crisps, Cadbury's chocolate bars, even their own brand cereals are all shrinking. The ONS reports that food prices rose 10% last year alone, and that's even after packaging got downsized. The second one, subscription creep. There are stats, and this is from Barclaycard only last year, that show that the average Brit spends £620 a year on unused or forgotten subscriptions. So companies very often trick people into this. They'll use free trials as incentives to get you to sign up to a service, and then auto-renew tactics that basically trap consumers or take advantage of your bad memory. So you can obviously keep ahead of this just by checking your bank account regularly and seeing what's going out and who to. You've got contactless payments, and this is now perhaps less obvious for number 3. So with contactless, because it feels frictionless, because it's as easy as dabbing your phone or dabbing your card, you're not pulling out and handling physical money, psychologically that kind of bypasses your budget instincts. And people actually spend anything up to 33% more with contactless than they would perhaps be inclined to with cash. So that's one that's worth keeping in check. And obviously it's good to use cash. Using cash means that we're not paying the banks. We're not giving away free money, if you like, to the banks for card use. And also shop owners aren't having to pay that extra levy that the banks charge them when we pay on a card. So it kind of benefits everybody. You've got the loyalty card illusion, and this is particularly, again, at supermarkets. They seem to crop up a lot when it comes to ripping people off. But you've got things like Tesco club cards, where the club card prices aren't always necessarily better. Many of them are actually inflated in the first instance so that they just appear discounted. The Competition and Markets Authority, otherwise known as the CMA, has begun probing into loyalty schemes. That was towards the end of last year. I've yet to see any stats on the outcome of that, though. You've got another one that people do fall into, but perhaps is less obvious, things like pay later traps. The companies like Klarna, like ClearPay, even PayPal, where 4 in 10 UK consumers actually miss payments unless they're set up to be automated. But obviously, to take advantage of that, you need to be able to guarantee that the money's in the account for the automation to happen. Otherwise, you get charged again. And you're victim to hidden late fees. And obviously, spending psychology can actually cause significant and substantial debt to really build up when using these systems. Because if you need a pair of shoes, or you just want that new TV, you bang it on a buy now, pay later, or buy now, pay in 12 months, whatever it is, and you sort of forget that you've got the debt. The money's not gone from anywhere. Although debt has been accumulated, it's not gone from your bank, it's not gone from your wallet, and you've still got a product. So that kind of doesn't feel like you've really spent any money, even though you may have spent hundreds and hundreds of pounds. So that's quite a dangerous one. You've got things like energy standing charges. Now this is awful because obviously energy companies, they charge at least £1 a day. Most of them it's nearer £1.50 a day on a standing charge. So you're paying about £350 a year before you use a single unit of gas and electric. Now Ofgem data actually shows that basically for April 2024, standing charges went up despite wholesale electric and gas prices falling. So blatantly, we're just being conned. And you've got hidden transport inflation at number 7. So bus and train fares have gone up by 6.8% in February 2005 alone versus the whole of last year. So even parking costs in major cities, London, Manchester, Liverpool, Birmingham, Bristol, take your pick, rose by 18% in the last 12 months. And I've noticed particularly in my area of Devon, I guess areas that are near to me like Exeter, like Exmouth, they've now started introducing their summer tariffs for parking. So instead of paying £1.20 to park for 3 hours, it's now £6.50, which is a hell of a jump. And the knock-on effect there is, of course, that locals that might want to travel into somewhere like Exmouth, like Exeter, any areas like that, take advantage of the beach, of the shopping and spend their money, they're not going to bother. They're just going to go to the nearest retail park on the outskirts where parking is free and it's dealer's choice. They've got a Sainsbury's, they've got a Curry's, they've got a Boots. They'll just do their shopping there. So by proxy, this is feeding big retail, it's feeding big commerce. And also by proxy, the little guys that you might otherwise want to use to buy your groceries, to buy your bath bombs, your shower gels, and whatever else you want to buy, they're going to lose out because you're not using them due to ridiculous council parking tariffs. So free movement is basically now a myth, especially when every time you commute, especially if you're in London and you've got ULEZ and all the rest of that gubbins, as well as parking, that costs you more than a meal out with your missus. So why would you bother? You would just literally go to a retail park, do your shopping there, order the rest of your bits from Amazon, and then just get an Uber Eats. So look, what's your view on this? What's your view on how you can curb your spending habits and how these things might secretly be keeping people poor? Did you know about all of these? Are there some that you didn't know about that you now do? Drop it in the comments and let me know. YouTube's going to stick another video there somewhere. Maybe check that one out. That'd be amazing. Remember to like, follow, subscribe. It all helps me carry on doing this. And there you go. Another video tomorrow. Goldman. Peace out.